Have you had trouble die cutting those really cool die cuts with all the little intricate pieces? Well, stick around. I got a hack I think you're going to love. Today, I'm going to show you a hack for cutting those really super intricate dies. And the key is, are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready? Grocery bags. Just everyday grocery bags. You can also use Ziploc bags, but I'm just going to show you with grocery bags. I cut them into strips or smaller pieces, just whatever size die you're using. You can, whatever you want to do. And here's my sandwich. Today we're using the Big Shot. I also have the Big Shot Plus, and I have a mini, like a tiny mini Vagabond that does a small plate about that wide, but I'm not using that one. Okay, so we have our cutting plate, but our base plate, cutting plate. You're going to grab a piece of your grocery bag and lay it down. You're going to grab a die that some of my dies are they're older. Some of them are a little off-brand, and they don't cut very well. So I have, like this one I always have trouble like somewhere around here. It just does not cut fabulously. So we're going to put our bag down. And just to show you very quickly before we cut this, here we're going to put our paper, and that ends up being 2 sheets, and this is 65-pound weight. It's one of the Nina Solar Brights cover stock. And just to show you the difference, so here is one I cut using my method of grocery bag, and then here is one that I have trouble with. I've always had trouble with this die. It's a really old die and it never cuts, but I happen to love the Dragonfly, so I keep it because I know I can get it to cut if I do it right. One of the other die cuts I have, it has a lot of intricate pieces in it. Comes out like butter. Isn't that gorgeous? Every time. All right. So we have our grocery bag. 2 sheets of 65-pound weight. You can use 2 sheets of 80-pound weight. And if you're getting any heavier than that, 1 sheet of like Bristol or watercolor, or if you're using heavyweight cardstock like 110 or higher, that's cover weight. Not index weight is very lightweight. You don't have a problem with that. It's like almost a vellum. So I'm going to put my cardstock, so we have our platform, our base plate, our plastic, our paper, our die cut. These plates, somebody asked me the other day about warping. These plates are a good 15 years old. I've never replaced them. You can see there's a couple of cracks in them, and I know eventually they're going to, you can see right here, if you look really close, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but there's a crack that goes like right along there. And I was trying to see if I can get it in focus. It's really hard to see, but there is a crack there. And but they're 15 years old, and I've never had to replace them. So I'm not sure if they're making them different, that people are complaining that they have to replace them all the time. I don't know. But this is just the regular Sizzix Big Shot. And I'm just going to load that through and crank it. Sorry, it's a little wiggly. I apologize for the camera because my table doesn't have a very good setup and the camera mount wiggles, so I apologize for that. But only if I wiggle the table too much. If I went a little slower, it probably wouldn't do that. So let's do our reveal. First of all, we're going to turn it over so I can show you. This, remember I said, is 2 sheets of paper. You can see it's all cut through both sheets of paper. And even a little bit of my plastic. Not really. The plastic is still pretty good. I would only, because I've used this several times, I probably only use it a couple of times each. But it's a plastic bag. And then I throw it in the recycle and it's all done. All right. So just to do the reveal really quick. There's our die. There's our first one. And I'm just going to pull that one out and show you how beautiful it cut. Didn't that turn out gorgeous? I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I have this thing about flourishes. I don't know what it is. I absolutely love flourishes. But the question is, did it cut through the second sheet of paper? It did. Watch this. It's a little tangled, so hang on just a second. There might be a catch every once in a while, but you can see, there we go, it's tangled. All right. Might have had a couple of spots where you can see it's still, but very few. And there's one spot in the middle. And, you know, like I said, this particular die, I've always had trouble in the middle cutting it anyway. So this one spot in the middle, I'm just going to yank it off because it'll be easier to pull it away if the rest of the pieces are not getting tangled. Hang on. There we go. And I'll pull those off in a minute, but just to show you, it did cut. If you look here, it cut all the way through. It's just going to take a minute to get them all untangled. And I didn't want to sit there and play with it while I can cut other things. So that's my hack. You have your platform, your base plate, your plastic, and I am not kidding you. It absolutely turns out gorgeous. We'll do another, this one is actually 80 pound. This is 80 pound cover weight. It's Nina Solar White. I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. I'm just going to fold this one in half. And then I'm going to grab the die. So I figure out where I put it. Oh, there it is. That background die, oh, not that one, but this is one I haven't cut in a while. Let's do this one. Why not? But just to show you, it is lots of detail, lots of intricacies. I'm going to put this one over the top of there. And over in this section, I tend to have a little trouble cutting. So sometimes I will put a piece of tape over that area. It gives you just a tiny bit of a shim. Am I in camera? Sorry. Just a tiny bit of a shim over that area that isn't cutting properly. And it also helps me hold it to whatever I'm doing. So I'm just going to stick that on there. And we will put our top plate. So remember, we've got our platform, base plate, plastic, paper. Now don't force it. If you find that it's not going through, don't force it because you will break your machine. I think this might break my plate. I don't think so. I don't know. I haven't cut this one in a very long time. Let's see. Just because I have that one crack on the side, I hadn't thought about it. Yeah, you can see that crack got a little bit bigger. Let's see, are we in camera? Oh, there we are. That crack got a little bit bigger today. That's okay. I actually have new plates for this. I haven't pulled out, so I can totally use the other plates. But for now, I knew I heard it crack. just to show you, that section cut very nicely. Because it is 80-pound cover weight stock, it may not have cut all the way through, but let's see. Yeah, the second one did not. No, it did. If you look, all of the parts, you can see all of the detail. This is the back of the paper. You can see it all cut through, but let's pull them apart real quick so I can at least get one of them. I could spend 20 minutes undoing that die cut. I don't want to do that. Okay. All the little pieces. So many little pieces. There we go. I love, this one is actually one of my favorites because, what do you attach to? Okay. There, I wanted to have at least one that was completely undone. You've got a couple of spots in here I could poke out. That'll take a minute or two. But just to show you, it's actually one of my favorites. I love the stars and the leaves and the fairy. Isn't she pretty? So pretty. I've done this in black and put it over a purple background and it came out beautiful. I loved it. Okay. And this one is cut all the way through. You can kind of see it. But I'm not going to sit here and play with it because it'll take me 5 minutes to get all those pieces out. And I don't want to do that on camera. Okay. Let me clean up all my little bits and pieces here. And we'll do one more. One more. Let's see. We have so many that are just so intricate, but just do not cut all the way through, so it's nice to be able to play once in a while on camera. Okay, let's do this one because I love this one. Hang on, sorry. So again, we're going to use 2 sheets. 1, 2. Put that down. Lay your die on top. Put your top plate on. Watching out for that section there. This may be it for it. We'll see. Run it through the die cut machine. Ready? I'm scrunching my eyes shut. I know you can't see it, but I'm scrunching my eyes shut. Because I'm afraid it's going to crack. It didn't. The funny thing is, I'll probably end up using this for another 6 months before I finally use the other plates. I don't know why. So there it is. You can see none of those pieces stuck to the inside of my plate. Sometimes they do, but just to show you, I'm going to tip this one upside down, get some of those off. I don't know if you can see, but all of the parts are cut on the back side. I'm going to flip that over so you can see. There's your front side. Throw 2 sheets of paper. Again, there's lots of detail in there, and I'm not going to sit here and pull all of the little pieces out because that'll take me a minute, but just to show you how quickly all of those pieces do come out of this one. They will come out. I just need to go through and do that, but there you go. Isn't that beautiful? So fun. On a pale blue background. Look, watch this. Look at how pretty those are together. Very cool. Okay, so that's it. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I will be glad to reply. Have a great day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell if you want to get notifications.